This tutorial is going to cover linking charts and tables from Excel to PowerPoint using Create version 85100. So let's look at how we copy the charts across first of all. Cursor in the placeholder, because we want the chart or the table to be sized and positioned correctly on the slide within that placeholder. Go to Excel. I've got two files open here. I'm going to send this table, which I've already formatted in Excel. I'm going to go to the Tables group on the Create tab in Excel and send to PowerPoint. There's a few options here. There's an option to fully format it if I haven't done so already, but I have. I can send it as a picture, original size, so it won't resize to fit that placeholder. I can send it as a picture scaled to fit the placeholder. Or I can preview the scaling before I send it to make sure that when I send it, it's 100% size to the placeholder. I'm going to send it as a picture, scale to fit. PowerPoint is flashing down at the bottom, so I'll go to PowerPoint and it's pasted in that table into PowerPoint. When I click on it, you can see it's a picture. The picture tools are enabled, so I can't make any changes here. Let's copy it across again using a different format. In fact, let's go to the next worksheet, and this time I'm going to send it to PowerPoint and I'm going to choose fully formatted. The table formatting options appear. I can choose from any of these. I'm going to send it alternating shading row, numeric alternating shading row. Click OK. PowerPoint is flashing down at the bottom. There's the table pasted in. When I click on it, it's a table this time, it's not a picture, so I can edit it and I can make changes to it here in PowerPoint. I can reformat it as well by going to the Tables group, Format Whole Table, and I can reformat. And these table formats are the same here as they are in Excel, and they're based on the settings in your Preference Manager. So perhaps I want to remove that alternating shading, so I can click OK and it's reformatted. I'll go to a new slide and select another table to copy across. Cursor in the placeholder, back to Excel. I'm going to go to my second file this time. Here's my table data. Now I want to see how this looks before I paste it in. I can format it first just to check that it's text. So let's go for text alternating shading. Click OK. So that's it formatted. Now I want to resize it before I send it. So I'm going to select my data and go send to PowerPoint, preview scale Excel columns, and you'll see what it does is scale the columns proportionately to fit that placeholder. The wrap text has gone a bit strange, so I can click on my option wrap text and create, and that will make sure that the text wraps. And in this case, I may just need to increase my row height here on those ones. So I know now that this is the size that it will be in PowerPoint, and this is how it will look. So now I'm ready to send it. Send to PowerPoint. This time I can just say as a picture original size because I'm happy with the sizing. I know it's a true font size. It's 8 point that I applied in Excel. Let's copy across some charts now. Cursor in a placeholder, back to Excel. I've got a column chart here that I've created earlier. I'm now ready to send this. From the charts group, send to PowerPoint. A few options again. I've got as a picture, which will send it as a picture, so I won't be able to apply any formatting or change any data once it's in PowerPoint. And there's a few options when I'm sending it, whether I need it resized to fit the placeholder, whether I want it formatted at the same time as sending, or whether I just want it left as is. I can send it as an Excel chart, which will mean I can make some changes to it in PowerPoint. Formatting changes, not any data changes, because the data will always be in Excel. I can recreate it as embedded, which will recreate it as an OLE linked chart, and I can preview it before I send it. I'm just going to send it straight as a picture, resized only to fit that placeholder. So it's resized in Excel. PowerPoint is flashing down at the bottom. Go to PowerPoint. There's my chart. When I click on it, it's a picture, so I can't make any changes to it. And on my next slide, let's send it across as an Excel chart. I'll send my line chart. So I want to make sure this is formatted when I send it. So this time I'm going to say send to PowerPoint as an Excel chart, and I'm going to format it to the dark light theme. All of these themes are customizable in your preference manager. Click on dark light, it resizes it, it formats it. PowerPoint is flashing down at the bottom. So I click on that, open PowerPoint, and when I click on the chart that's been copied in, you'll see it's a chart. The chart tools are enabled. If I right click, I can't edit the data, but I can choose some different formatting options if I wish. So back in Excel, let's choose another way of copying across. This time I'll recreate as embedded. So click on the chart, send to PowerPoint, recreate as embedded, solids. So it's recreating a data sheet which will be linked to the PowerPoint file. PowerPoint is flashing down at the bottom here. So now when I click on it, it is a chart. If I right click, I can edit data. I can access the data behind the scenes. So all of these charts and tables that I've copied across, except for the one that I recreated as embedded, are linked to the original source data in Excel. And I know they're linked because when I go to my linking group on the Create tab, click on View Links, it lists all of those charts and tables and how I've copied them in. So it tells me the location. So on slide 1, I've got a table. That's the original source file details and the range. Then I've got a table image, so that was copied across as a picture. Then I've got a chart copied across as a picture and an Excel chart. The embedded one is not listed there because I can access that through Edit Data. So how do I update them? Let's just save my file and go to my first one, which is the chart I copied across as a picture. In Excel, well, first of all, let's see where it is. If I go to View Links, that particular chart is highlighted. It's on my column chart range in my linking file. If I close this, go back to Excel and make an obvious change so that we can see it. I do need to save the file because it is going to look to the most recently saved version of the file to make the update. I'm going to change some data here as well on my table and on my line. Save the file. Go back to PowerPoint. So a few different ways of updating. I can choose to, from the Create tab, update selected, which I'll click on now for this chart. So that will update the chart or table that you have selected. Or I can update all the charts and or tables, or all the charts and the tables. If I click on Update Charts and Tables, it asks me if I'm sure. Click OK, and it will go through and it will check them all and update them all. You'll see there's that one. This was my embedded chart, so that obviously hasn't updated. There's my line chart, and there's my table. So this one was in a different file. So let's go and back to my Excel file, and this time I'm going to make a change to it. And I'm going to save the file. And I'm going to close that file as well, because this time I want Excel to find that chart, that table for me. Click on the chart. From the Create tab, click on View Selected. So I had to close the Excel file. If the Excel file was open and I clicked on View Selected, it would open a read-only copy, so do watch out for that. Excel is flashing down at the bottom. Go to Excel, and it's taken me to the correct worksheet with the correct chart. I've already changed my text, so now I can just go back to PowerPoint and I can choose Update Selected on that table. it's updated it. Let's just have a brief look at the View Links dialog. So a few options in here. As I click on each object in the presentation, it's selected in the dialog. I can update all from here as well. I can right click and there's a few options available. I can update an individual object. I can also view the source from here. Again, that's just like clicking on View Selected. I can change the source file, the folder and the range. And there's a further tutorial on the View Links dialog available separately. Okay, so that's a brief look at linking. Thank you.